Hi, my name is Philip, and this is my vlog for March 3rd, 2018. Today's daily bread that I'm vlogging about is titled Precious to God. And the author starts by telling a story about a street fiddler named David who plays music, and he's well known in the area, and people, hear his music. He's playing a violin, and they would throw money in his, the violin case, right, as thanks. And at some point, this David passes away, and there's an obituary, and people learn that this guy that everyone knew about, everyone had seen before, had spoke several languages. He had a prestigious degree from a prestigious college, and he had previously run for Senate, and just some interesting things about him, and that they didn't realize because they just judged him to be like kind of a guy on this, maybe a homeless guy just working for money kind of a thing, or a poor guy just kind of making ends meet, right? And this is paired with the story in Genesis where God creates us, right, on the sixth day, and he makes us in his image, and he says it's very good, right? And I think a lot of us kind of take that for granted a little bit. Combining the two ideas, there's this idea that we're created in God's image, and there's incredible qualities imbued in us just by that alone, right? And that when we look at someone, we're really seeing kind of the image of God, and the fact that we don't think very much when we look at most people. I think there's a bit of a reflection on what we think about God, and it's kind of a insidious little thing, I think, that we don't see someone worthy of love and admiration, right? Just by looking at them. But I think that's how God feels about us, right? And I think we should be very thankful that God has done so much for us. This really reminds me of a book by Thomas Merton that we read recently in a Bible study like last year. It was titled New Seeds of Contemplation. And there was this idea, and you can't see it, but behind the camera, there are trees outside the window. And there was this idea that God is the perfect creator, and he creates perfect things, right? And God created that tree outside, and that tree is a perfect tree as God made it, right? Perfect, right? I mean, it seems like just a tree to us, but it's the perfect tree it was meant to be for all of creation, right? And it has no choice but to live that out, right? And in the same way, God created us, right? And we too have inside of us like a perfect version of ourselves, that if only we would take this body that is perfect for what it's meant to do, right? We just took this body and did with it as God intended, then we would experience this perfection, right? And God shows us this through Jesus, right? Who comes to earth in a frail human body and imbues it with God's perfection, and then that enables Jesus, or Jesus is able to live a perfect life, right? And so as a human, right? And because we have access to the Spirit, because Jesus lives within us, we have that same capability. If only we would do with this body what God intended, we could live a perfect life, or at least a more perfect life. I think people are very afraid to say that we might be able to be perfect on earth. But I don't know. But I think we can definitely be more perfect than we are. And I think it's an amazing responsibility and an honor to have this potential within, this potential to be perfect. There's something that God given us to it's going to take the rest of our lives to even move an inch closer to, right? And it's kind of an interesting thing to think about and to be thankful for every day. Thanking God for giving us the ability to be more and more like Jesus a little more every day, even as amazing as Jesus is, right? So I think that's really cool. And yeah, I don't know. I think it also goes into looking at people and helping us to love people, because inside of all of us are qualities that people don't know about, right? And some of them may be nothing special, but some of them will probably be pretty impressive or fun to know, and be really cool. And I think it'll be much easier to love people if we even if we don't necessarily know that about everyone we see, but if we could imagine that there is some quality in this other person that I'd like to know about, that would be cool to know, I think that would help us love our neighbor. But yeah, I think that's it. Probably a little more than usual for these vlogs, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. These vlogs again are just for me to dig a little deeper into these daily breads and use them as a tool to help me maintain my faith and hopefully mature a little bit. If you have a prayer request that you'd like to share with a stranger, sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's preferable. So if you have any prayer requests, put them in the comments down below. If you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you're having a good day, and God bless you.